Farmer Linga Kasan is heading to a forest on the island of Borneo. In recent years, he's planted around 1,000 trees on his 7 hectares of land, where there was once just bare earth. He sees the work as an investment in his future.
I'd like to chop this tree down, but I might wait until the trunk is more than 30 centimeters wide. Then I'll get the maximum price for it.
Linga Kasan also keeps oil palms and rubber trees, but they don't yield enough profit. So in 2016, he was among the first to sign up for a reforestation project. It aims to create sustainable forests and provide an income for local people. It includes growing crops to avoid creating a monoculture. The farmers are allowed to chop down some of the larger trees to sell. More than 1,000 farmers are now involved in the project, dubbed 100 million trees. Indonesia has lost nearly 1/5 of its forests in just the last 20 years. Some were cleared for gold mining, like here. The damage to the environment that comes from gold mining is huge, as the project manager explains.
It used to be a forest, but after a year, it became like this. They basically flipped the sand and then bring the topsoil inside the inside part. So it's almost impossible to reforest this area. And then it's very high-risk job because in the process they're using dangerous chemicals such as mercury. And of course it's very bad for the environment as well as the people. But unfortunately, this is one of the few sources of incomes for the local people here.
So it's vital to create alternative sources of income. Mona Lisa Putri Kaharap is reaching out to the gold miners, hoping to bring them into the reforestation project.
They are actually very open to new ideas as long as it is not illegal, they're not risking their lives. This is what we try to bring through Fair Ventures, through 100 million trees.
This former forest was burned down to make way for a palm oil plantation. Now a new forest is being planted here. Many local villages are pitching in. That allows them to earn some extra money. It's being financed by private investors and the German government's International Climate Initiative. The farmers get the seedlings directly from Fair Ventures, once they've received training on how and where to plant them. Today, Kaharap is visiting farmer Pasihan. He's only been involved in the project for a year, but he's already planted several hundred sengon trees. The sengon is very fast growing.
Around 5 to 6 meters in 11 months. This is why we love this kind of trees so much, because the more they grow, the more nitrogen they put in the soil, the more fertilizes the soil, and that it allows the farmers to actually plant any other things in his field. And yeah, this is how fast it's growing. And then imagine million of trees in Central Kalimantan that was planted by the farmers here to absorb the carbon.
For the farmer, it's not only about providing a stable income for himself and later his children. Like in many parts of Borneo, floods are a growing problem here.
These days, our village floods 3 to 4 times a year. It used to only flood once a year, but it doesn't seem to matter anymore what the season is. We still get flooded.
Padahal dulu cuman 1 kali. Ada musimnya. Jadi kemungkinan
I think it's down to the impact of mining. The forest has been cleared, so the ground doesn't absorb the water anymore. And when it rains heavily, everywhere just floods.
Curah hujan yang terlalu lebat kayak gitu hampir nggak ada.
Planting more trees could help prevent such damaging floods in the future. More than 1 million new trees have been planted throughout the region so far. Some of them will now be felled and sold as timber, while others are planted in their place. The idea is to attract more business to Borneo to help the farmers.
The timber industry in Indonesia now, it's still very centralized in Java Island, right? And then we try to convince the industry to also invest in Kalimantan. Or what we're trying to do is we try to connect the farmers directly with the industry to cut down the middleman, which is, you know, we try to make it more, to make the most profit for the farmers through this system.
Farmer Lingga Kasan, who's been involved from the start, is optimistic. He's hoping that the 100 Million Trees initiative will improve his life in the long term, while also benefiting the environment.